The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the authors and not necessarily to the author's employer, organization, committee, or other group or individual.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is
Yes.
Irvin,
And I'm Aljo.
and this is the number one music podcast in the country. This is Mind the Beats.
Yeah.
Welcome guys to the podcast. Nasanay kami to the show. Siguro dahil nga marami tayong naging guests before, diba? So,
Yes.
para bang nag-adjust tayo sa mga bagay-bagay. But this time, this is the recorded episode, and this is just very simple. I mean, we've been out for quite a while because we did a lot of things. Nagbalik na yung gig, you know.
Yeah.
Nag-a-adjust pa rin kami because we're doing our gigs, our Saturday, and probably Sunday gigs. And then there has been a misfortunate of events that happened a couple of weeks ago. DJ John Lloyd, which is a really good friend of ours, is now with the Lord. And I think yung last na nag-live session lang, pinalabas lang namin yung interview namin sa kanya sa Facebook.
Yes.
And it really took a toll on everyone, especially how important DJ John Lloyd is, not just to me, but to Eljo, but to Mind the Beats itself, because he is, to be honest, he is the culprit of, or siya yung nag-draft na itong blueprint ng ginagawa namin eh. Baga parang,
Isa siya sa mga naging inspirasyon namin dito.
oo, isa siya sa mga naging inspiration. Honestly, like, paano namin na-handle yung mga criticism, yung pagbuo ng episode on a weekly basis. Nag-start sa kanya.
Nakaharap sa camera.
Oo, paano kami nagsasalita, lahat sa kanya. I mean, we have our own style, we have our own technique on how we approach topics like this, but everything started with DJ John Lloyd.
Yeah.
So talagang it really took a toll on us. And talagang we've been down for quite some time now because of that misfortune and unfortunate event. But life goes on. We have to continue. If ever Karen and the rest of the family or anyone that is near and close to DJ John Lloyd will be hearing this, I hope we get our peace. Talagang na tayo. We start growing back, and we start contemplating on things as well. So anyhow, pangit no, pangit ng note na ganun yung simula. But again, we have to continue. We have to endure everything. So
Kahit mahirap, tutuloy namin to.
Oo.
Para kay DJ din.
yes, kasi siya rin talaga yung, alam mo yun, siya yung nagsimula nito eh. Pangit naman na iniwan namin na ganito na lang dahil nawala siya. So of course, we're still gonna be talking about music. We're still gonna be talking about musicians in the music industry.
Yes.
And talagang naghahanap lang din kami ng mga pwede maging samples ng mga episodes, ng mga pwede natin pag-usapan. And to be honest, dumarating kami sa point na minsan parang, alam mo yun, minsan parang nauubusan na kami ng insight, nauubusan na kami ng idea, and then this happened. So talagang we decided to take a little break, a couple of weeks break, and then we're back again doing the same old stuff, talking about music, talking about things that can help the community, and to understand how music works here in the Philippines. I mean, this topic today or tonight, or kung ano oras na mapapakinggan to, is a topic that na hindi lang pinag-uusapan yung OPM. This is actually for everything, like for pop itself. Kasi if you guys can remember, last time we had an episode wherein we talk about the top 5 hits
Yes.
Diba? Parang sobrang light niya, sobrang alam mo yun, parang insight lang kung what is the top 5 songs dito sa PH. And we decided to continue with that series. It's not really as the same like top 5 ulit for this week, but what we did is we tried and understand and research about the formula na nung song pattern nila nung top 5.
Yes.
And why the top 5 hits is, in the top 5. So this episode talks about more likely the pop or the OPM formula. Kasi we understand na there is a reason why songs go mainstream.
Yes.
And
syempre, yung topic namin for today is yung mga nangyayari nowadays. Hindi naman porket sinabi namin ito yung formula ito na lahat ng formula, di ba?
Oo. I mean, it's always
naka-base talaga kami dito, di ba?
Naka-base lang talaga kami sa top 5. Kasi ito yung parang, kumbaga parang formula and yung mga things na napansin namin sa list ng mga songs na sumisikat ngayon sa Spotify, sa YouTube, and even sa madla. I mean, sa TikTok, even sa Facebook, and all that stuff. Kaya siya naging top 5 is there is a reason. And nakita namin yung pattern na yun eh. We just want to share. Again, this is not like in an expert level of thing that you need to do as a musician. Still, music is, music and songwriting is art. It's always up to you. But the pattern that we saw for artists dito sa top 5 is basically parang ganun na ganun eh. Dikit na dikit dun sa nakita namin pattern eh. Almost lahat sila merong ganung style eh. Or pasok dun sa 2 points na pag-uusapan namin. Again, disclaimer, this is not we're not saying that ito yung dapat yung sundan na formula as a songwriter, okay? Or as an arranger or as a musician. This is more likely a professional guess. Kumbaga, para bang research lang namin, we dig deep with the songs, nakita namin itong mga pattern na to. So, if you think na hindi naman siya tama, then feel free to, to do your own stuff. If you think this will be helpful, then it's good. You can try this. You could benefit from this, and then probably you can bank on this. Kasi, I mean, we're not saying it's 100% na ito yung gagawin, pero it's proven and tested. Even in the international scene, like Bruno Mars, Charlie Puth, ito yung pattern nila.
Parang coincidence na ganun yung nangyayari, no? Parang nag-uusap-usap sila eh.
Oo, talagang tsaka magugulat ka kasi hindi lang siya nagsimula talaga, to be honest, sa US eh. I mean, all over the world this has the same pattern. Siguro nagkakaiba lang on, popularity wise and how you express it in a sense.
Pero nagko-connect talaga.
Oo,
nangyayari sa US, kung sa ibang bansa, diba?
Mas lalo ngayon, katulad ngayon. Etong formula to hindi gumana sa All Too Well ni Taylor Swift. I mean, nandun yung isang pattern which is yung second point namin later on. Pero yung first point, hindi siya pumatong doon. Hindi siya, kasi di naman falsetto si Taylor eh.
Yes.
She's more on the rawness and the uniqueness of the lyrics. So let's talk about the 2 points. So this is the OPM formula, and we actually have 2 sub-points. One is falsetto, and then one is the lyrics. Now, we're gonna be breaking it down to you guys in a way na para magets niyo yung point namin. Okay, so let's start with falsetto. So before anything else, let's talk about the definition first. So sabi ni paring Google, falsetto is the vocal register occupying the frequency range just above the modal voice register and overlapping it with by approximately 1 octave. So basically what it means is that kumbaga parang yung frequency ng range ng original voice natin, tumaas lang siya ng 1 octave, but it's still the same thing. It's medyo manipis lang yung tunog niya, and medyo mataas lang yung tunog niya, again 1 octave higher. And then bakit natin i-define tong falsetto? Kasi it generally has the same sense in a way. every time we listen to falsetto with every singers, 'di ba parang napapatingin tayo na, uy, ganda nito ah. Parang inyong kumbaga parang crema de cream ng isang masterpiece. Diba? There's a good reason why we love those high notes. To be honest, scientifically, it's in our DNA. We're always hardwired to have a strong response to falsetto in music. That's why most of the time, di ba, pag nakikinig tayo ng R&B music, pag kumukulot sila and then biglang nagfa-falsetto, parang napapawaw tayo. Kasi it's out of the usual stuff.
May tingling sensation.
Oh, may tingling sensation. Kasi, it's not the usual stuff that we hear. Let's say, nagsalita ako ng ganito and then si Eljo nagsalita ng ganito, biglang nag-falsetto siya ng one octave higher. So, parang mapapansin mo yung difference nun. Diba? We're as human beings, we're hardwired to see through the not usual stuff. Diba? Kumbaga parang
na-amaze tayo talaga lagi sa mga ganung bagay.
Na-amaze tayo sa ganun eh. Even with yung tipong onting piyok lang. Let's say nagpa-perform ka or pinapanood ka, napiyok ka. Sa lahat, sa ganda ng performance niya all throughout the set, yun lang yung matatandaan mo.
Yeah.
Kasi yun yung yun yung parang nag-set apart dun sa performance niya, which is unique. And then at the same time, we really have a strong response to falsetto in music because of the way our brains process pitch. So pitch is the lowness and the soundness, the highness of sound, wherein the unique relationship between falsetto and emotion. Kumbaga parang falsetto meaning it's the higher register of a voice and then nararamdaman natin yung emotion doon. Kumbaga parang siya yung climax kumbaga ng mga bagay-bagay. And then for technical stuff, falsetto is actually head voice. So we have most likely 3 voice that we use every time we sing. We have the diaphragm, we have the throat voice, we have the nose, the nasal, and then the head voice. So, depende na lang sa kung anong singer ka, kung saan ka mas komportable, kung sanay ka kumanta ng nasal, like Maroon 5, like Adam Levine, or if you're used to, with the diaphragm itself, or by the throat, na para bang mga ibang mga rock stars, that's fine. Again, large leaps in frequency tend to command out attention. Kumbaga, diba, yun nga, example, dun sa may mga certain parts ng mga song na bigla kayong magka-climax or bigla kayong magpa-falsetto, yun yung para magiging catch eh. Yun yung nagiging catch ng song minsan. Kasi it commands attention. Kumbaga, kung ano yung unusual stuff dun sa song, yun yung nagko-command ng attention every time sa mga listeners.
Yeah.
And then, the thing about falsetto is that most of the time, you will never hear a full-on falsetto song. For pop ba? For pop singers, for pop songs.
Meron yung
Oo. Pero hindi naman sinasabing para bang hindi nangyayari yun. Most of the time lang. Most of the time, wala ka masyado maririnig na full-on falsetto. Except na lang kung kunyari, vocalista ka ng Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, yung falsetto nila chorus, pero ang taas pa rin ng verse nila. 'Di ba, ng bridge part or actually lahat o kaya ng Bee Gees na lang eh. I mean,
ayun.
Lahat buong song nila halos falsetto na rin or kaya talagang natural voice nila kasi mataas talaga mga boses nila. Falsetto is tended to be added in a specific place in a song. Whether
to add beauty.
To add beauty. Yun nga, kumbaga parang mag-catch ng attention, mag-command ng attention sa mga listeners. Minsan linalagay siya sa chorus, minsan siya yung nagiging hook ng kanta, or minsan para bang dramatic climactic line ng kanta. Kunyari, bigyan natin ng example sa ano ba tawag dun sa international scene. We have Attention by Charlie Puth. Yung chorus part niya, actually yung verse, yung dalawang verse niya is the normal voice lang. And then pagdating ng chorus, doon na yung parang nag-falsetto na si Charlie Puth. If you guys are gonna be listening to it and you're gonna be digging deep with the song, dumapansin niyo na yung climactic part or yung hook niya sa chorus is falsetto. O kaya yung We Don't Talk Anymore na lang ni Charlie Puth. 'Di ba? Yung first part nun, yung chorus part na first, pagkakarinig pa lang natin, pag-play natin, chorus part, falsetto na automatic 'yun.
Yeah.
It means it commands attention that, hey, this is gonna be the chorus. And yung mga ibang mga magiging part na yun is just gonna be verse. Another example, syempre, kakalabas lang ng kanta ng Silk Sonic, smoking out of the window, and then leave the door open. Yung chorus part ng mga yon is actually falsetto rin. I mean, it's always tended to be in the chorus or a very dramatic hook or bridge kasi you need to, kumbaga parang dapat merong difference yung verse pati yung chorus every time you create a song. I mean, it's just for pop singers. I don't know, like for the usual alternative people like us, most of the time ang nagiging advantage or advantage namin or yung parang difference ng verse and chorus is by the way we play it. Kumbaga parang yung direction ng chorus tsaka sa verse. With pop singers, most of the time, ang nagiging direction nila is dito sa verse, puro normal voice lang. Pagdating ng chorus, ayun, medyo nagfa-falsetto na sila para just to add attention. Okay. So that is the first point. It's very short, next point is gonna be the lyrics. Itong second point na to, hindi naman, medyo bibigyan natin ng emphasis to kasi we actually, Musika Iho and other bands are really big into lyrics, like for us. Kasi we appreciate the point that it's being laid upon very smoothly. Kumbaga, parang you don't really need to think about it. But most of the time, our songs, especially our originals sa Musika Iyo, is something na kailangan mo pang pag-isipan. It's always double meaning with stuff. Like, example, yung mga kanta ni Eli Buendia. Diba? Mga kanta ni Eli Buendia, you have to always think twice. You have to always think, actually, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, just to get the point. Kumbaga, it's not always...
Kaya, si Google na.
Oo. Kumbaga, it's not always being spoon-fed. But the thing about this is lyrics tend to spoon-feed you with how you want to feel.
Yes.
Diba? Example, lyrics muna natin is simulan natin sa una, pagsamo. So, ginawa ko, nag-research muna ako about pagsamo. Pagsamo on its own term is this is a term that is perhaps most commonly used in sort of a religious text. But what the word simply means, according to Oxford, is asking or begging for something earnestly or humbly. So, dun pa lang sa title ng chorus, this title ng song na yun, it's already raw. Like, it's always asking or begging for something. The big word is begging. OPM songs, ito yung napansin namin through research over time, OPM songs tend to hit the rawest of emotions.
Yeah.
Diba? Marami tayong mga kanta na sobrang raw nung lyrics, sobrang raw nung emotions na pinoportray niya. I mean, there is no boundary. This is example lang natin, pagsamo. Diba? Most of another example is kung di rin lang ikaw. Doon pa lang sa title na yon. It's very raw. It's a lot of songs are like that. Diba? Sa Ngalan ng Pag-ibig by December Avenue. Tayo lang ang nakakaalam. Diba? Ang dami. OPM songs tend to hit that the most. Kasi we always try to tickle yung emotions ng tao.
Lalo na yung mga current event na nangyayari.
Oo. Especially with, since you guys, lahat naman tayo dito, music lovers. Especially with lyrics that are really close to breaking point. Diba? Like recently, literal na recently lang, 3 days ago, while we're recording this, Taylor Swift re-released. Sabi nila re-release na daw yung All Too Well. Kasi na-record na daw yun before. And it's one of the most rawest songs na na-produce ni Taylor. So far, I mean, I'm a fan, but I don't really listen to the whole album itself. I'm more of like, kilala ko si Taylor Swift. Alam ko yung mga songs na lalabas niya. But all too well, it's just very raw to its core. So mga listeners natin, if you guys try to listen to it, it's very raw. The emotions are there. It's a lot of lyrics, a lot of metaphor that is being used, a lot of figures of speech na ginagamit nun, to the point na it's very raw. Na ramdam mo yung lyrics. Kumbaga, that's why nung linabas yun, ang dami na lungkot sa social media, di ba? Nung linabas yung, yung songs niya. And then, another thing is that most of the songs nowadays, again, most of the songs, uses a lot of metaphor. Di ba? Siguro naman alam natin yung metaphor. It's like, kumbaga parang example niyan is, susungkitin ko mga bituin. Something like that. Diba? It's very impossible. It's a very impossible phrase. Pero it tends to hit really big kasi it has its, its meaning itself. Example. Sa unang tingin, agad na nahumaling sa nagniningning mong mga mata, ikay isang bituin na nagmula sa langit. Doon pa lang sa line na yun, ikay isang bituin na nagmula bolero sa langit. Na, no? Oh, bolero eh. I mean, that is from Paraluman by Adi. Diba? That's part of the top 5 hits. And then another example is, isasayaw kita hanggang sa walang hanggan. Diba? You really can't, you really can't dance hanggang sa walang hanggan. That is very fantasy-wise. And then, another thing, sa Paraluman pa rin is, liwanag na dulot mo, nagbigay sinag sa madilim kong mundo. It's, kumbaga parang napaka-bolero nito ni Adi. to the point na, it's very cheesy, but it works.
Yeah.
Ito yung yun eh. Ito yung para bang dun eh. Awkward thing dun eh. Alam mo cheesy if you really read the lyrics and you listen to it. Sasabihin mo talaga, ang baduy naman ito. Kasi ang cheesy niya masyado eh. To the point na parang, parang di na makatotohanan. But it works! Why does it work? I don't know.
Di natin... mo si girlfriend mo.
Oh, diba?
Girlfriend mo, diba?
we don't have the slightest clue why it works, but it works. So basically, Filipinos like to be, mahilig silang, gusto nilang nabobola. That's why Adi is part of the top 5. Same thing with Ikaw Lang and then Pagsamo. I mean, yun yung yun yung chart eh. We cannot lie, we cannot say na, hey, don't listen to this or this is not the right thing. Pero it works eh.
Kasi parang nangyayari kasi, very common thing sa mga Filipinos na gusto natin makarinig ng mga cheesy lines, di ba?
Oo.
Yung nagpapakilig sa atin. So parang ang nangyayari, the way na yung mga metaphor na laging lumalabas ngayon na song, yung madami, yung kumbaga, ang formula niya is metaphoric yung lines, di ba? Kumbaga, nagiging kahit sabihin mong yung pinaka words pa lang, yung every sentence pa lang, may laman na. Kumbaga, parang pag tinignan mo pa metaphorically, iba pa yung dating di ba? Kumbaga, mas kinikilig yung kung sino yung nakikinig. Most of the time, di ba, mga babae, di ba? Nowadays, yung sa mga...
Kahit lalaki, ganun din.
Oo, ganun din. Minsan, ewan ko, ikaw ba?
Hindi Hindi ko eh.
In some point,
I love you agad. Wala nang bola-bola.
In some point, meron naman talaga sa mga lalaki. Hindi naman maiwasan yan. Napaka-hipokrito naman natin pag hindi. Pero yung the way na yung mga naririnig kasi natin, kahit sabihin mong parang common thing sa mga Pinoy na nakakarinig ng ganyan, common thing sa mga Pinoy na siyempre, di ba, sa mga bagong relationship, utuan.
Oo.
Yeah, mga ganyan
bulahan
mga
pa.
Sinasabi.
Bulahan pa.
Pero, may parang iba yung feeling, tsaka iba yung atake doon sa person na sinasabihan mo, di ba? Same thing with the song, di ba? Very very smart or very unique yung naiisip nilang ganyan, di ba? Na mag-add sila ng mga, well, napaka old ano naman na yan, tactic or formula, pero dumadating sa point kasi na na masyado siyang nandun siya sa hype, di ba? Kasi iba-iba yan hindi namin sinasabi na ganito lang lagi sa sa pop music lalo na sa OPM
I mean,
hindi.
even in alternative songs, nandun pa rin yung metaphor It's always there. Oo. Pero yung figure of speech is always there with writing.
Hindi na nawawala yan. Pero the thing is yung mga ganito kasing bagay talagang very lucky ng mga writers ngayon, di ba? Kasi talagang nag-hit sila, sunod-sunod pa, di ba?
Oo. Tsaka
sa kanila.
Congrats sa mga writers niyan. Kung may writer man para Luma, si Adi or Nobita or Ben and Ben, o sino man yung mga artists ngayon. They're very lucky to the point na this style, the way people hug the song itself is very huge. Alam mo yung parang walang nagbago ever since. Ganun pa rin yung style ng pagsusulat ng mga Filipinos. Not just Filipinos, but almost everyone. I mean, di na tayo lalayo even in 2019, 2018, 2017. Even the rawest of raw has its own figure of speech. Diba? Especially with metaphor. Kasi sobrang gamit na gamit yung metaphors in songwriting. It's always about how creative you can be in writing and in making
doon talaga lumalabas yung katalinuhan ng mga writers sa mga ganyan.
Oo. Even
pero hindi natin sinasabi na yung mga gumagawa ng mga raw hindi na matalino. Isa sa mga napakahirap din gawin yun.
Kasi yun
direct the point ka.
Oo. Kasi hindi to related sa music, pero it comes from the heart itself.
Yeah.
I mean, ito na lang bakit sa tingin natin sobrang successful ni Taylor Swift? Lahat ng mga songs niya is very raw. Almost very raw. Love story na lang You Belong With Me na lang It's very raw. Kumbaga parang ito yung feeling ko dun sa sa mga sulat ni Taylor Swift. Parang binibigyan niya tayo ng isang pahina dun sa diary niya.
Parang nangyayari nga sa niya sa mga albums niya, sa mga songs niya. Parang
galing lahat sa diary niya. Ganun.
A vlog no?
Oo.
Parang she's creating a vlog through music.
Kumbaga parang
ganun.
Oo, parang nung una nga parang nung masal na pakinggan ko tong All Too Well without the sense of it. Wala pa yung sense, wala pa akong idea. Yung first listen ko, sobrang wordy. Kasi I know a lot of songs, especially ito na lang sa sa mga nakalimutan ko kung sino to. So may artist sa Amerika na hard rock sila. Literal na parang kung babasahin mo yung lyrics nila, paulit-ulit lang Yun lang yun It's very simple. If you listen to Nirvana, the lyrics are very simple. Yun lang siya. Tapos napakinggan mo yung kanta ni Taylor Swift. Like, it's very wordy. Sabi ko, parang lang siya parang blabbery at some point. Nung una na napakinggan ko siya. Pero pag nag-dig deep ka, pinakinggan mo ulit the second time, the third time, the fourth time, especially if you're doing research, magigets mo na parang, siya, galing talaga siya literal sa diary niya. Alam mo yung parang meron siyang kinukwento sa'yo na hindi mo dapat malaman. Pero ginawa niyang song. Tapos kaya ramdam mo yung rawness nung song itself. Kasi walang filter, walang kung literal na parang yung feelings niya yung naka-portray doon. And that is what I like about songwriters and musicians itself that create songs out of thin air, just pure emotions. Kasi mararamdaman mo yung kung ano yung kailangan mo maramdaman sa song, which is the main point of creating songs itself or creating music. It's not about para magmukha kang cool, 'di ba? Every songwriter, if you ask any songwriter, why do you write this song? Bakit? Why do you write in the first place? Kasi you want to express something. And it's not being cool. Kasi if you try and listen to even the hardest and even yung pinakakilala mong rockista na songwriter, pag pinakinggan mo at pinasa mo yung lyrics niya, magugulat ka rin na sobrang corny din. Minsan ng mga yon. Kasi it's the rawest of the raw. And then another example pala for lyrics is minsan may mga gumagamit ng metaphor and then going straight to raw emotions. Kumbaga minsan nagko-collide yan eh. Kumbaga ito, isang example sa Ikaw Lang by Nobita. Ang iyong mga tingin, labis ang mga ningning. Langit ay bumababa pala ang tala. Tumingin ka sa aking mga mata at hindi mo na kailangan pang magtanong ng paulit-ulit, ikaw lang ang iniibig. 'Di ba? Yung transition from langit ay bumababa pala ang tala. Tapos tumingin ka sa aking mga mata at hindi mo na kailangan pang magtanong ng paulit-ulit, ikaw lang iniibig. That is from metaphor to being just raw. Just basically you can definitely say na binobola kita and then sige sabihin ko sa'yo na I love you agad. Parang ganun yung nangyari. I mean, it's very raw to the point na it works. I mean,
yes.
Additional help na lang yung melody na nagawa nila. Pero if you're gonna be contemplating on the lyrics itself, grabe, sobrang bigat na itong mga lyrics na to. To the point na parang minsan, I mean, siguro ako kasi nag-research tayo dito eh. Tapos pinakinggan talaga natin ng maigi yung song. Pag dumating kayo, yung mga listeners natin, pag dumating kayo sa point na you wanna try and write like a study for this type of songs, magugulat ka na lang on how raw and how unfiltered the lyrics are. Diba? It doesn't mean na unfiltered is yung may mga mura or anything. To be honest, kung sino pa madalas yung mga songs na walang curse words, sila pa yung mga sobrang raw nung emotions na yon. Kasi nararamdaman mo eh. Like if you're the person singing it to someone special, it has the point itself. You don't really need to explain everything. It's like I'm spooding you everything that you need. Diba? Parang ganun. Another example is from Pagsamo by Arthur Neri. Siguro nga'y wala nang natira sa mga sinulat mo na para sa akin. Alam kong luha ang bumubura, ngunit hayaan mo na lang. Walang saysay ang panalangin ko kung di ako ang hahanapin mo. Kahit sigaw pa ang pagsamo ko sa iyo, bakit di mo dama to? Diba? Parang grabe yung rawness nung lyrics na yon. I mean in songwriting, in a basic sense, you need to have everything rhymed. Pero if you're trying to read this without thinking of the melody itself, it doesn't rhyme anything. Diba? It's not rhyming each other, pero it's very raw. And it works. Kumbaga, it's defying the basic of the basic in songwriting. 'Di ba? May mga laws diyan wherein kailangan ganito yung pagkakasunod niyan. Ganito dapat yung ira-rhyme mo sa ganitong lyrics. Pero hindi, dito hindi. It's just very raw. It's a combination of metaphor plus the rawness of songs itself.
Parang yung mga songs talaga na parang gusto nilang i-evolve into another level talaga eh. Kasi minsan parang kung isipin natin, kung mag-i-stick tayo sa old school style natin, sa Philippines parang hindi nagwo-work eh.
Oo.
Parang there's something wrong or there's something missing, 'di ba? Or kulang doon sa formula ng mga Pinoy. Kaya siguro yung style ngayon talagang mas tumatagal Mas minamahal, mas tumatagal, 'di ba?
Tsaka yun na lang yung Go Easy on Me na lang ni Adele. I mean, if you really want to have like the rawness of everything, you listen to Adele. It's very raw. And it works. I mean, ang huling release niya ng song is 2017, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, 2018. And then nag-release siya ng 2021. And her song Hello is still relevant to this day. Diba? I mean, you really can't deny the fact that rawness and metaphor and basically lyrics is always king in songwriting. You cannot just create a song na okay ang melody but the lyrics is medyo judgy. Kumbaga parang hindi siya umuukma in other way sa kung ano yung gusto mo i-portray. Kasi itong mga to, it's very detailed. Mas lalo tong nasa top 5 hits. Their songs are very detailed to the point na mabagugulat ka na lang if you're just gonna be reading it. If you're gonna be singing it, that's fine. Kaya nga, diba, lagi nila sinasabi, even Jamie Foxx said, it's always better when you sing it. Kasi the meaning differs every time you try and sing it. Pero if you just break it down gently, dun mo magigets yung point ng lyrics itself. So, sa mga aspiring musicians natin, if you wanna try this formula out, basically, just add a falsetto to a hook or anything climactic to your song, and then just try to add metaphor and then make it rawest of the raw, or make it very raw. I believe 70 to 80%, this is just me, 70 to 80%, it will work. Kasi that's how our musicians or yung mga artists natin, it works Yung mga nasa top 50 hits, that's how it works on them. There's a possibility that it will work on you. I mean, for us, Musika Iho, it's very different. Why? Kasi we always tend to tickle the deepest of our imaginations and thoughts. May mga ganun talaga mga artists, may mga ganun talaga mga singers or songwriters wherein pag-iisipin ka talaga. But if you really want to have mainstream success, I believe, I'm not saying it's the only formula, but I believe it will work. You know, you all can always try. The thing about music is that if your first thing fails, you can still try the second thing. And then pag nag-fail pa rin yun, you can still try the third thing.
Pero tingin ko for me, the way yung sa pagsusulat mo ng song, as long as talagang minamahal mo din yung ginagawa mo, and talagang alam mo sa puso mo o sa isip mo na singable siya and may sense siya, it's a good thing na di ba? Pero and then yung sinasabi ni Ervin na about sa falsetto, ito ang twist dyan, as long as nakaya mong gawin.
Oo, diba? Syempre.
Hindi namin sinasabi na it's a big thing sa formula na dapat mag-falsetto. Paano kung hindi mo kaya, di ba? Parang, well, common sense naman na siguro yan. Pero, yun, as long as nakaya mo, well, that's a big hit. Lalo na kung mailalagay mo siya sa tamang position, sa tamang timing, di ba? Kung saan mo dapat siya ilagay. It's a good song for me.
And at the same time, as long as it came from your heart itself. Like kung kasi talagang ikaw talaga nagsulat and you feel like it's something, then it's good.
Yeah. Saka parang mafe-feel mo yan as a songwriter na parang pinilit ko. Parang walang emotion masyado, di ba? Parang yung emotion ko ipinilit ko, ganun.
Totoo. Like gawin ko na lang example yung song natin. El Jumayan and I wrote Amnesia. Last 2019, I think. 19, I think. it's going 3 years na. 1922, it's going 3 years na. And the chorus itself is, di pa handang gumising sa panaginip na ika'y kapiling. Like it's very raw. Like it's really awkward that we're bringing this up because we want to show you if that will, or we want to let you know that chorus hook works. I mean, it's proven and tested to the point na hindi lang kami yung nagkaroon ng emotion dun sa chorus na yun, but a lot of people that listen to the full song, especially the chorus hook, really appreciate the fact that it's very raw and it works.
Yeah.
Diba? It's like turning metaphor, and yun nga, yung parang pinasok namin dun yung second formula eh. Yung metaphor and then yung rawest of raw. Kumbaga, di pa handang gumising sa panaginip na ika'y kapiling. Diba? Like, why? Ganun lang mapapaisip ka na lang eh.
Hindi namin alam kung ba't naisip na Ervin yun.
Hindi ko rin alam bakit ko naisip yun. I mean, I think it's because of kasi nagsusulat ako nun, tapos madilim, tapos parang nag-emo ako nun. So yun yung nabuo ko. I mean, it's not really na parang napilit siya. Kasi ang unang lumabas talaga dyan yung chorus hook. Kasi sa musicpodcast, for us, ang palaging pattern namin is wala kaming chord progression pag ginagawa. Kumbaga parang nagigita-gitara lang. Tapos biglang maiisip mo lang yung lyrics na yun. Tapos papasok na yung hook sa'yo dun eh.
True emotions lang din talaga.
True emotions. Tapos, wala nga, parang nung una nga, diba, nung binanggit ko nga sa'yo yun, sabi ko, hindi pa handang gumising sa panaginip na ika'y kapiling. Parang ang baduy. Diba? Parang kung isip mo, baduy mo naman magsulat. Pero it works eh. Diba? We can definitely say na baduy kami, but the song works. If we try to push it forward, probably it will work. Kasi hindi lang tubating na sa point na may nag-spoken poetry na nung buong song itself. May nagdagdag na ng spoken poetry.
Medyo tinigil muna namin.
Oo, tinigil na namin muna yung pag-push kasi parang sabi ko parang grabe naman to. Parang naramdaman niya ata yung sakit ng kanta. Diba? Parang yun yung point nun eh. Ito lang yun eh. If people tend to be sad every time they hear your song, or kung ano man yung emotion na gusto mong i-portray dun sa song na yon, and they feel the same way, it means it works.
Tingin ko rin talaga nag-work yung song, but the thing is, nandun kami sa point na we're on alternative thing in cover songs na parang etong song na to is more on pop eh. Parang hindi namin matanggap na ang lumabas sa kanta namin is pop, di ba? Pero hindi naman namin dinidegrade yung mga
I mean, we're big fans of pop music.
Yeah. Pero mas big fan kami ng alternative. That's why siguro the only thing na mali sa nagawa namin is hindi sa gusto naming genre na punta yung kanta.
Oo. Kasi nung pinlay namin, actually pwede pa namin yun eh. Babaguhin pa namin yung atake dun sa kanta. Pero pag pinakinggan mo talaga yung lyrics, literal na parang pop
parang
talaga.
Yung song doon talaga siya pumupunta eh. Kahit anong liko namin sa Manibela, doon siya bumabagsak eh. So, we're happy na we produce a music, pero siguro in the near future or pag si Ervin, magre-release kami ng sariling ng channel on YouTube. Siguro kahit mga mga medyo raw.
Ayun. Hindi natin lagay sa lagay natin dito sa sa Mind the Beats para meron tayo. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, again, for aspiring songwriters or anyone that really wants to write music, just write songs. Yeah. I mean, yun lang yung advice namin. Dito naman siguro sa part na to pwede tayo magbigay ng advice.
Write songs, and siguro panoorin yung mga previous episodes namin dahil meron kami mga nakausap na mga talagang magagaling na
mga songwriters talaga.
Writers, diba? And meron silang mga different styles na ginagawa that nagka-catch ng attention ng mga listeners.
And so basically it works for them. I mean, for songwriters, for anyone that is writing songs and stuff, it actually varies. Depending na lang talaga yan sa kung paano mo siya ipapawork.
Yes.
I mean, for us, I think nakuha na namin yung point na yun. I think it's just moving towards a different direction. Kasi nangyayari parang nagiging pop yung atake namin sa mga . Pero that's the thing. I mean, songwriting is always different from one another. There's no specific formula. The one that we discussed earlier is just basically yung research namin dun sa mga songs recently na nagwo-work sa kanila. There's a possibility that it will work for
nowadays.
you. Oh, nagwo-work nowadays. A possibility it will work for you. Possibility it will not. But again, you're always welcome to try new things as a musician, as a songwriter.
Tandaan nyo guys na ang music parang alak yan eh. Hindi porket pagkagawa mo ngayon, masarap na siya. It takes time, di ba? Pero there's some writers, some artists na talagang pagkagawa masarap na eh. Di ba? Iba-iba yan. Kumbaga sa iba-ibang brand yan. Diba?
Malay mo ikaw, kunyari, kung ikaw na nakikinig ngayon, nagsulat ka ng kanta.
Ginbulag ka, di ba? Pwede ka nun. Yung iba, Pilsen.
May possibility, di ba? Kunyari, gumawa ka ng kanta ngayon. Yung unang sulat mo, it works. Alam mo maganda na agad. Paano kung kunyari nagsulat ka like Rico Blanco or Evidancel? Out of lahat ng mga songs ni Rico Blanco ngayon, kung malaman niyo yung mga interview sa kanya, almost 100, 200 songs na yung nasusulat niya and mas marami doon yung tinapon niya kaysa doon sa re-release niya. Kasi it's not about, making sure it sounds good. If you feel na parang okay sa yun, then you go for it. If you think na medyo nag-aalangan ka doon, then don't go for it. Kasi in the first place, bago mo iparinig sa iba yun, kung nag-aalangan ka, dapat binabago mo na yun kahit pa paano yung approach na yun.
Tinatapon mo na talaga.
Oo. Kasi diba, bakit mo papaparinig sa iba kung hindi ka naman sigurado? Diba? Yun yung point nun eh. Kaya nga sinabi rin ni Evidancel, ang pinakamalaking critic niya every time he writes songs is yung sarili niya. Kung magugustuhan niya o hindi. Kasi pag hindi niya nagustuhan, automatic, hindi magugustuhan ng tao yun. That's why Ebe has a lot of really good songs na talagang tinatangkilik ng tao. Even us. Like, Tulog Na. Prom. Diba? Like, yung mga songs na yun is very classic. To a point na ang nag-critic nun, hindi ibang tao, kundi siya rin mismo. Pinakinggan niya kung tama ba, kung okay ba yung kating tunog. Well, with that being said, that is actually going to be the episode for this week.
Yes.
So again, thank you so much guys for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll susubukan namin paikliin itong mga weekly episodes na to. To the point na parang bearable siya, around 30 minutes to 45 lang. Kasi recently, parang napansin ko, lumalapas tayo na 1 hour sa mga episodes natin eh. No? Sobrang hahaba talaga. Kahit ikaw magsasawa kang pakinggan eh. Pero let's try to minimize this. Like, if it's gonna be a weekly thing, then we can try and do it on a more shorter way. And then don't worry guys, because we have a lot in store for you. Marami tayong may interview ng mga artists, mga nagsisimula pa lang na mga recording artists na talagang tutulungan din tayo na mas ma-reach pa natin yung maraming mga musicians, and matutulungan din natin for us to understand how their music works. Kasi this is a helping hand for musicians. This show is a helping hand for everyone that is trying to make it in the industry. Para magets natin lahat kung paano nila ginawa yung grind nila para hindi na tayo mahirapan sa sarili nating grind. Well, with that being said, thank you so much. Before we end the show, we just want to thank our sponsors. Milk and My Tea by Jeff Aposaga.
And Ikaw Na Bahala by Joshua Ramos. Tapos Chicken House by James Manzanilla. And syempre, sinusupport namin yung Search, yung Safe Clothing by Ismael. Hindi ko na suot ngayon.
And then World in Progress. Yan, thank you so much, World in Progress.
Yes.
And then Relax Clothing. And sinusuportahan din natin yan.
Tropa yan.
And then just watch out for our probably maglalagay kami ng bagong photoshoot. Mag-photoshoot pala kami this coming week. So magkakaroon tayo ng mga bagong mga pictures sa page. And then
pinuna ang aming mukha sa page. Makikilala na kami na maayos.
And then ano ba to? May nagigig na rin kami. So we are at Dulo Kitchen Grill sa Calamba every Saturday. So if you guys want to check out our gig, sing along, enjoy your Saturday night, then punta lang kayo doon. And then we're starting ourselves in the music industry or the indie scene. So probably makikita nyo kami sa mga kung saang lugar dito sa Laguna or kaya sa Manila, gonna be doing gigs and promoting our originals. So
and
watch out for that.
And syempre, namin na maglabas kami ng channel. Syempre para makita namin yung mga comments nyo about the songs.
Oo.
And kung ano yung suggestion nyo, di ba?
Then probably, di ba, pag nagka-chance, ma-release din natin sa Spotify. Diba yun, ma-push natin sa Spotify, ma-push sa YouTube, sa Facebook, sa Instagram. I mean, the sky's the limit with promoting. So, hopefully, in the coming weeks, sana nga mag-oging okay na tayo. Since dito sa NCR.
Sana hindi na magtuloy ang bagong patch.
Oo, bagong patch ng COVID. So, naka-level 2 na tayo. So, hopefully, magtuloy-tuloy na with everything.
Yes.
And balik ng live music. Kasi miss na rin ng mga tao live music.
Yeah.
So, that's actually it for this episode. Again, thank you so much, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll try to upload as much as we can. So if you guys want to be featured, or if you want to guest, or if you have like a topic idea that you want us to talk about, feel free to message us. Actually, nagagawa ako ng community natin sa group sa FB. So probably this week gagawin ko yun, and then I'll invite people that really want to join, and we'll promote it on our pages as well. So if you guys want to join, you just need to answer a couple of questions, and then there will be set of rules wherein probably in the next coming recordings, magiging available din kayo dito sa live natin. Wherein pwede kayo makisit in. Of course, di lang kayo pwede makisabat sa discussion kasi dalawa lang kami doon. But you guys will have the sorts and the feels for it every time na magre-record kami, kasi we will be announcing it. Like, hey, mag-record kami mag-record kami today at 8 p.m. So if you guys are free, you can join us. Just mute your you just mute yourself, and then off nyo lang yung video nyo. So at least ma-feature din kayo sa YouTube, diba? Wherein sumama kayo sa recording namin at nakinig kayo first hand ng recording.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, my name is Irvin.
And I'm Meljo.
And you're listening to the #1 music podcast in the country. This is Mind the Beats. You guys take care.
Yeah.
Happy December na. Merry Christmas, and you guys have a Happy New Year.
Peace.
Bye-bye.